This week is exactly 1 year since I put the koi in the pond, which also means that I moved in to my first ever home 1 year and 1 week ago. So the pond has only been fully complete, including the waterfall and wildlife pond area, for around 5 months, but the pond was koi ready exactly 1 year ago. It's great to look back and see how much the pond has developed and how much the fish have grown. Even though I only did a lot of the planting at the start of summer, it's still great to look back and see how much the plants have filled out and softened all the hardscape edges and made the whole area look as if it had been here for years. Special shout out to the half bag of watercress leaves that I scattered around the edge of the pond just over 2 months ago. I think I might regret planting these. Fortunately, I didn't really experience any issues that fall under the umbrella term of new pond syndrome, like spikes in ammonia, nitrites, and or even nitrates. I put this down largely to the fact that I used the old filter from the old pond in the new biochamber, which would have added a lot of mature, beneficial bacteria. I have also had to do extremely little maintenance to the pond. This is largely due to the fact that my main mechanical filtration is a drum filter, which filters out waste down to 60 microns and automatically cleans itself when it gets dirty. This allows me to have so much more time to just chill out on the decking in the afternoons and evenings and just relax whilst watching the fish and any other wildlife that I may see. At the beginning of the year, I started out with 12 koi that I took over from my mum's pond as she wanted to retire her pond. These koi were bought from a general fish store outlet at 3 to 4 inches and were never really fed to push the growth. Even though they arrived at my pond at 5 to 7 years old, in the 6 months of being in my pond where I'm feeding them good quality food and lots of it, they still have managed to pack on some really good growth. Since then, I have now bought a total of 6 Japanese koi, all coming with age and breeder information, and even the kahaku coming with an identification certificate. In order, I've bought a Sankey, a Goshki and a Kahaku, all from a koi dealer near me. And even more recently, I bought 3 more from a private dealer who is the same person I've got the Nutrimare 360 food from. A Jumbo Tosai Yamabuki, a Ginrin Chagoi and a Ginrin Achiba. I'm really looking forward to seeing how much growth I can get out of these guys, especially when you consider that the 1-year-old Yamabuki is already almost the size of the biggest koi in my pond, which is 7 years old. There's a link in the description to join a WhatsApp group if you're interested in either getting some of the food or just joining a really knowledgeable and friendly group of koi enthusiasts. There's a huge range of members on here, from private dealers, enthusiasts with 5+ ponds, people who enter koi shows, and even people who are just starting to build their first ever koi pond. This year, I also went to my first ever koi show where I saw some of the nicest and biggest koi I've ever seen, and it was really good to put some faces to names that I've met over the internet. I'm definitely going to be going to more of these. Whilst I was there, I also picked up some Nutrimare food, which isn't currently available on the open UK market, and I'm really lucky for being able to get some, as I 100% believe it is better than any other food out there, due to multiple reasons that I'll get onto later. Towards the end of the summer, I had a period where the fish were acting as if they had low battery, sulking at the bottom of the pond, moving slowly, not really interested in food, and even doing some flashing. I did so much testing, which included scraping the fish to try to find parasites, and so many water tests to see if anything wasn't right, but I couldn't find a single thing wrong. So, rightly or wrongly, I decided to treat the pond with PP or potassium permanganate. The reason for this is that generally it will nuke the entire system and almost sanitize it if you like. Whatever the issue was, the PP treatment worked, as ever since the koi have been acting like koi again, full of energy, and the vast majority are even feeding out of my hand. I've still got quite a few things that I want to add to the pond, like an auto top up, which will keep the pond at a constant level by topping up once the water level gets low, adding some more K1 media in the biological filtration, and for over winter I'm going to be building a polytunnel that covers the length of the wildlife pond, main pond and decking. The idea behind this is to just help keep the pond a few degrees warmer, and due to the size of the polytunnel, I'll also be able to sit in it on the decking and enjoy the pond a bit more than I otherwise would have over the winter. Now, let's get on to the real reason why you lot are here, the giveaway. So today's giveaway is going to be 5 kilos of Nutrimare 360 food. The winner is going to have the option between floating or sinking food. The reason why I keep banging on about this food in all my videos is because I truly believe that it is the best koi food that you can get on the market. And luckily for one of you, Nutrimare have kindly donated the food to make this giveaway possible. But I am quite passionate in educating people and help people understand what actually makes a good koi food, so you can understand, when you look at the label, you can read the ingredients on it and you can understand what kind of foods that you should be steering towards and what kinds of foods that you should be steering away from, as there's so many people out there that just seem to be following certain brands without actually understanding what it is that actually makes the koi food good. So there are a lot of people spending a lot of money on koi food that, okay, is high quality, but there are a lot better options out there that are also a lot cheaper, and they don't actually understand if the food is any good or not. They just kind of have the anecdotal evidence of like, oh, well, my pond stays clear, or the fish like it and they've grown well, which, okay, is an important factor. But I think a lot of people don't really realize what it is that actually makes a good koi food. And there are a lot of good koi foods out there that are cheaper than some of the most expensive brands. So one of the reasons why I like the Nutrimare 360 food so much is it is the only food that I've actually come across that has a fully transparent ingredients label that states how much of each ingredient is actually in the food. The main ingredient is fish meal, just like a lot of other high quality fish foods out there, but the difference is that Nutrimare guarantee quality of this fish meal by declaring it LT71 fish meal, which is the highest quality fish meal on the market. Another thing that I believe sets them apart from the competition is that they don't use any unnecessary fillers such as soybean meal or other animal byproducts. Generally speaking, these unnecessary fillers are largely undigestible by the koi. It's not as nutritious for the koi. It can help towards creating more waste in the pond and also digestive strain. Now, an interesting point with this is that whatever koi food you're using, even if it's one of the, or if not the most expensive one you can get, have a look on the ingredients and there will be these largely undigestible and completely unnecessary fillers in the ingredients list. Another thing that I really like about the food is the fiber content is really low at 1.3%, due to the fact of koi not having stomachs. Fiber at a high level really isn't needed at all, and it's very wasteful. Generally speaking, the more fiber that's in the food, the more waste there will be, just due to the fact that they do not need it at all. The ash content is at 11%, which is a pretty good number to shoot for a food that is largely based off of fish meal. High ash content in fish meal based foods generally suggests that the fish meal in the food has a high content of bones and scales, which is something that generally we don't really want. So the ash content at 11% in the Nutrimare 360 food suggests also that there isn't that much bones and scales, and it is more, you know, like the meat in the actual fish meal, which is something that we want for the koi. So the last thing that really sets it apart is a full color profile through the additives of spirulina and astaxanthin, along with having a good profile of vitamins and minerals and added herbal enhancers that are proven through aquaculture. This makes it a really good all-in-one food. Now, a lot of brands have foods that are good for color, or foods that are good for growth, or foods that are multi-season foods. Now, I've never personally really got my head around these. Why would you feed a food, for example, that's good for growth but doesn't have color additives in it? Or why would you feed food that has good color additives in it that then may not be the best for growth, or doesn't have a good amount of vitamins and minerals in it, or something like that? Why not just feed something that ticks all boxes and feed it pretty much year round? So for that reason, that is also another reason that I believe why Nutrimare 360 is realistically in its own league. Now, I've probably upset quite a few people by saying that Nutrimare is the best that you can get in the UK, because there are a lot of people who have blind loyalty to certain brands without actually really understanding what makes the koi food good. So although there are a lot of really good choices for koi food out there, I'm not saying that Nutrimare 360 is the only good koi food, but if you are to look on the label of koi food that you have and compare it to Nutrimare 360, you will probably find got stung by the electric fence there. Once you've compared it, you will find that there is no argument in what I'm saying. It is the most well-rounded and best ingredients on the market, with also the least or no unnecessary added fillers. Hello. So I've got a script here because there are rules to the giveaway competition and there are things that I do actually have to say, so I will keep forgetting them otherwise. So to be in with a chance of winning your choice of 5 kilos of sinking or floating Nutrimare 360 food, all you have to do is subscribe or be a subscriber already, comment down below, and then to draw the winner, I will simply be using a random YouTube comment picker that picks a comment at random. Duplicates won't count, and all of this will be on a future video before November. And to the winner, if you do miss the video of where the winner's announced, I will also be getting in contact with you through tagging you in a YouTube comment or something like that. The competition will start when this video is uploaded, which is going to be around about 5 p.m. UK time on Monday, the 23rd of September. And the deadline will be up until 5 p.m. UK time on Saturday, the 5th of October. And shortly after, I will be making a video announcing the winner. So any comments made on this video after that time won't count. Apparently, I also have to say that this giveaway is not sponsored by YouTube, and I'm solely responsible for the whole thing, which includes the draw, the product, and sending out the product to you. So I wrote a script and I somehow still managed to forget something because of how wonderfully easy it is to import and export stuff abroad now due to us leaving the EU. Unfortunately, the competition is only available to people inside the United Kingdom. So if you win and the address that you want me to send it to is outside of the United Kingdom, you will be disqualified, unfortunately, because there seems to be quite a bit of red tape. So if that happens, you'll be disqualified and I'll just simply choose another winner. I think that is all I have to say. So good luck and see you next time.